So welcome back. Today we are discussing about types of analytics. That is nothing but different ways of using data, different ways of using data. That is nothing but analytics. So just think of a scenario like small kid thinks about what happened. Students thinks about why did it happen. For example, if you fail, why did it happen? Planner, for example, he's planning something to construct. So what will happen? Boss, for example, management, what we should do now. So that's exactly what this chapter teaches. Okay. So so analytics converts raw data into useful knowledge for making better decisions. So organizations move through four levels. So analytics is like human thinking. So for example, raw data alone, raw data alone is useless. I can give one example here, attendance register. Attendance register that we take daily. So it this is nothing but raw data. So it does, raw data doesn't give the percentage of the student. Then we need to convert this into percentage or in Excel format such that it gives useful information. So that is nothing but raw data is cannot be accessed or cannot be useful for us. So this slide compares analytics to human thinking. So first we remember what happened. Okay. Then we analyze why it happened. Then we predict what may happen in future. Then we decide what to do for all those things. For example, in examination, just think of you failed. So why you failed? Because you didn't study. Next time if you do the same thing, you may again fail. So what is the future analytics? Okay, I need to study to overcome these complexity. Okay, that's what analytics. So the first one is nothing but descriptive analytics. In descriptive analytics, we'll be analyzing this particular question. What happened? So descriptive analytics summarizes historical data. Okay. It does not explain, sorry, causes or predict future. It just say what happened. For example, descriptive analytics is like a mirror. If you stand in front of that mirror, it just shows your image. It doesn't say who you are, what is your age, or what exactly you are. Okay, just show the image or replica your image. That's it. So, for example, let us say sales were 10 lakhs. It doesn't say what are the constant for this 10 lakhs. It just say what sales are just 10 lakhs. So for example, even let us say one more example, attendance attendance is 75% for, let us say, Vamshi. It just say attendance is 75% for Vamshi. Why did it, why it is 75%? Why he couldn't get 100%? Just it should it gives nothing explanation for that particular attendance. It just say the attendance percentage of the so and so student is 75%. That's it. Okay. Now moving on to another slide. So organizations always generate huge data like sales, website visits, sensor data, and customer interactions. So raw data is meaningless, that you need to remember, unless it is summarized or reported. Okay. So you think of like one example, companies drawn in data. So thousands of bills will be there generated daily, thousands of thousands of clicks, thousands of entries. So raw data is like reading every WhatsApp message ever sent. Okay, it is impossible, right? So descriptive analytics summarizes data into totals, counts and reports. Okay, that's why we need descriptive analytics. So what it does, okay, it collects the past data, cleans and organizes it, and it presents the reports, okay, charts, dashboards, or and I also explained about it. It summarizes. So the techniques that are used in data analytics, first one is aggregation, second one is visualization, and third one is basic statistics. Okay, so that is what about the data analytics. Now moving on to some examples. So business, education, social media are the best examples for descriptive analytics. So in business, monthly sales report shows totals and region-wise sales, total sales and region-wise sales, as well as it also says product-wise sales. It won't say why total sales decreased or why regional sales increased or why product-based sales increased. Just say just gives the number of that monthly report. Okay, and even in education point of view, college checks, like you already know, past percentage of the student, attendance percentage of the student. It does not explain why the student doesn't come, does not attending the classes or do not coming classes regularly. Okay, just give the report. Okay, and for example in social media, just think of social Instagram has likes, views, as well as followers. So it just gives the number, you feel happy or sad, but analytic just gives the numbers. Okay, that is what about descriptive analytics. So some limitations are there in descriptive analytics. The first one, it is nothing but it does not explain why. It cannot predict the future. Okay, key points will be based on past oriented, and it is the basic for form of analytics, and it is the foundation for others, like why, what will happen, what is next. So it gives that report for future. Okay, now moving on to the second type of analytics, diagnostic analytics. In this particular analytics, the question comes is that is nothing but why did it happen. So it focuses on reasons or causes behind the outcome. If the student is not attending the classes, so diagnostic analytics provides us why student is not coming to the class. Okay, so, for example, think diagnostic analytics like a doctor. So, fever is like descriptive, just gives the number. But infection is the reason, that is nothing but diagnostic analytics gives. Okay. So, this analytics find causes, it finds causes that you need to remember. Now, moving on to the important cause why diagnostic analytics is required. So, organizations must understand why profits fell, okay, why profits decreased, why customers left from their organization, or why machines failed. So, they need to understand, right? So, knowing what happened is not enough. Okay, without knowing the reason, company cannot fix anything, right? So diagnostic analytics must. Okay, now we are going we be seeing some techniques. Okay, so it examines data in detail. It just not give that like what we say report. It examines what it happened. Okay, it compares multiple variables. If student is not coming to the class, he may have he may have some problems at home, he may be sick, he may be something, so multiple variables will be there. So that variables it will compare. It identifies the relationships and patterns. Okay, so techniques that are used in diagnostic analytics, first one is drill down analysis, correlation analysis, root cause analysis, and data mining. Okay, so diagnostic analytics goes deep, overall says down. So for example, drill down, what it analyzes, it analyzes region ways, then store ways, then then it analyzes product, then it gives the output. Okay, that is how it finds the root cause. Basically it is like a detective work. So moving on to some real world examples. Retail, manufacturing, healthcare are the main use cases for this particular analytics. So sales down because website speed reduced, payment errors, prices increased. So this may be the reason that my retail sales dropped by 20%. This gives us the analytics. Okay. Now second one is nothing but manufacturing. So machines failed. So poor maintenance. Why machine failed? Due to poor maintenance. So it gives us the reason. So healthcare, patient returns, okay, wrong dosage. So the if that is the case, patient will again come and ask us. So all examples show reason finding. Reason finding is the main thing you come to know in this particular analytics. So difference from descriptive in point of limitations, examples. Okay, so descriptive gives the report, whereas diagnostic analyzes that report. Okay, so limitations are nothing for this particular analytics. First one is time consuming, it takes time, and we require good data. Okay, so in exam point of view, you should write cost oriented. It identifies the problems with multiple variables. It supports corrective decisions. Okay, that is what about diagnostic analytics. And moving on to predictive analytics. So you can analyze the definition name itself. It will predict. So what is likely to happen in the future? That is nothing but we call it as predictive analytics. So it uses data plus models to predict future. It uses data plus model to predict future. So predictive analytics talk about future. It does not say exactly what will happen, only what is likely to happen in future. That is nothing but we call it as predictive analytics. So like weather forecast, sometimes it may be right, sometimes it may be wrong. Okay, in all cases it may not be wrong, or in all cases it may not be right. Just say what will happen in future. Okay, now why predictive analytics is required? To reduce risk, okay, to plan better, and to anticipate behavior. Okay, that is why we require predictive analytics in business point of view I'm talking. So companies wants to prepare in advance. Okay, if students didn't study earlier, like they likely to fail again. So prediction helps in planning before damage happens. Okay, that is about predictive analytics. That is the main cause we require predictive analytics. So it learns patterns. Okay, it build model, it estimates the probability. Okay, tomorrow rain is likely to happen with 50% probability. It may happen, it may not happen, it may not be happened, but it estimates the probability. So the main techniques that are used in this particular technique, first one is regression analysis, second one is classification, third one is machine learning algorithms, and last one is nothing but time series data. Okay, so predictive analytics learns from past data, past data. Okay, patterns, it identifies the patterns, and it gives the probabilities. It gives the probabilities. Okay, so if you see through this example, in banking point of view, we need to predict loan default. Okay, and we need to predict the credit card risk before going for secure payments. And in e-commerce point of view, we need to predict the products that a person is likely to buy based on the search engines, or based on the interest that that particular customer is identifying. Okay, and in weather point of view, we need to predict the forecasting. For example, rain is likely to have come tomorrow by so and so time. Okay, temperature will be so and so tomorrow. So that are nothing but all are future focused. All are future focused, that you need to remember. Okay, now moving on to some limitations. Okay, so predictions is not 100% accurate. They are completely probability based. Okay, and it requires large data, and even we need to clean all those data. And predictions can be wrong. It is not like it can happen 100%. It is completely future oriented. It uses AI and ML algorithms, and it helps in planning. That is what uh, about predictive analytics. And the last one is nothing but prescriptive analytics. So prescriptive analytics is the main thing that we all need to do. So something has happened. Okay, if I fail in the exam, okay, you come to know all the causes why you failed in that particular exams by diagnostic analytics or descriptive analytics, or let's say predictive analytics. You came to know what happens in future. But in prescriptive analytics, you all combine all those three types, and you'll find the solution. What should we do? If you fail, then you need to study for more hours. That is what you do in prescriptive analytics. Okay, so prescriptive analytics recommends actions. Till now, we haven't done anything, but in this prescriptive analytics, we do actions. We study for long hours to get passed in the exam. Okay, so prescriptive analytics is the decision maker. This point you need to remember. It is a decision maker, no probability. It is completely decision maker. So it is not just like what happened, why it happened, what will happen, what action should be take. That is what we give. That is what we learn in prescriptive analytics. And why it is required. So prediction alone is useless without action, right? Okay. So example, predict exam failure. We just say so and so person will fail in exam, but is that gives the solution? So we need to plan that student. We need to plan the student such that he should not fail the exam. So that is what we do in prescriptive analytics. We find best decisions. We find optimal strategies to pass the student. Okay. So I can say based on assignment marks or based on mid one or mid two, the so and so student will fail. But as an instructor, I need to go through the action that I need to take. So if I didn't take any action, the student will fail again, right? So prediction alone can't pass the student. So I need to take necessary actions. I need to take necessary actions on the student such that the student gets passed in my subject. Okay, so what it does. Now comes main question. It tries different options. Okay, it tries or analyzes multiple scenarios or options. It compares results or evaluate outcomes. Okay, it suggests best one or recommends best action. So that is what we get in prescriptive analytics. So which route, for example, uh, which route which route saves time in Google Maps. You'll find which route saves time. You need to go or reach a point in 10 minutes. You'll find the best route, best shortest route in particular Google Maps. Okay, which price gives the profit? Gives which price gives profit? It is price. Okay, which price gives profit? For example, you need to buy a phone, you need to buy something, you are going through some most websites such that you'll find the optimal price. So the techniques that are used is nothing but optimization algorithms, simulation, decision models which are there in ML and AI systems. Okay, to predict the best solution. And we're going through some real world examples. So Google Maps, okay, it suggests the best route, okay, you wanted to reach. Airlines, that is nothing but ticket pricing that you are finding through this particular airlines. In healthcare suggests the best treatment plan for you, okay, based on the disease. So all suggest what to do, okay. Why it is most advanced, that comes the next question. So prescriptive analytics use all previous analytics, okay, and it is very complex, and it is very valuable too in point of business, in point of education, in point of everything. It is very valuable. That's why it's it is the high level, okay, analytics compared to all others, okay. So that is what about